Hello, YouTube family. It's a beautiful day here in H-Town, Texas. I am so happy to be back with you guys to talk sports. We've had a lot transpired since the last time we talked 2 weeks ago. Texas Southern has won 2 games in a row. Southern University and Jackson State University had a very big time game on game day. ESPN, NCAA, where it is the major player. And this leads me right off into something that was a topic a couple of 3 shows ago about Coach Prime being Swac or not. And once again, if you've ever watched this show, you know that I think nothing but good things about Coach Prime. The shine he is bringing to Texas Southern University, Alcorn State University, Mississippi Valley State University, UAPB, even Southern. All the schools are getting play off of what Coach Prime is bringing to the Swac. So this is for all the haters that I'm talking this about. Coach Prime, I don't feel like he deserves it. Once again, you had almost 60,000 fans in the stands to see Southern and Jackson State University. You had a national audience see the campus, the surroundings, the people participating at an HBCU game. So the world got an opportunity to see the Swac. And I don't see anything wrong with that. And so I just wanted to top that before I get off into the Swac news and let everybody know that let's just jump on the bandwagon, do our part, and try to manipulate your program to gain any positivity from what Coach Prime is doing. It's up to you and your universities now to try to capitalize on what Coach Prime is doing. And one more time, I feel like he's the real deal. I'm just hoping that he stays at Jackson State University for a little while longer anyway. It looks like, let me stop, family, and tell you this. I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, Rose Gold Deluxe Spa, Womack Development Company and Realtor, and Morgan & Associates Dental. I appreciate you so much. My numbers are going up, and I say it all the time, when you view the show, slow down for a moment and hit the subscription tab. I need you to hit that. I need you to share it with some friends and relatives and other people. We're doing a good job, but I still need you guys to get out there and pass the word and hit the subscribe button. It will allow this program to take a major step forward. And I see that some of you guys like the program. I get calls and I get requests. And I want them to continue to come. At the bottom of the comment section, always you are welcome to tell me what you think about the program and what you might think you want me in this program to cover. Also, you can go to fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com to email me personally. You can go to fatlarrypodcast.com to purchase your merchandise, like this beautiful t-shirt I have on. Sports Talk with Fat Larry. Let everyone know that you like the program and you support it. We got a pretty good order of hoodies that are going out. And yes, we have hoodies also. So when you go to that website, fatlarrypodcast.com, it's going to have the t-shirts, the hoodies, and also all the previous programs. I have like 30 plus episodes. So if you go to fatlarrypodcast.com, you'll be able to see all of them and also be able to purchase the t-shirts. We really need your help in that area. Now, we're going to have a wonderful guest. I'm I'm jumping around. We're going to have a wonderful guest after I give you the news. It's going to be one of Texas Southern's past great athletes, and I'm honoring him because homecoming was just last week for Texas Southern University, and we had an athletic event to honor all the past athletes in all sports: tennis, swimming, basketball, football, baseball, the game that I played, and golf. And we had a wonderful turnout. And that was the first one, and we got so many people that can't wait for the next one. We got a lot of people calling saying they missed it this year, and they'll definitely be there next year. And this gentleman, David Mays, was going to be there, but some things came up, personal and physically for him, that he wasn't able to, but he promises to come as soon as possible so we can talk and see him. But we're going to have him Zoom in today. One of the great quarterbacks. He even went on to play professional football with the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. Now, what we're going to start off with, as we always do, is our HBCU news. And we're going to start off with the Swac. Why? Because I said so. And this is Swac country. But we will cover the CIAA, the SIAC, and the MEAC. Okay, let's get started, family. Okay, in the Swac, Bethune-Cookman wins the cross country. And I don't know if you're aware of it, but Bethune-Cookman won the cross country a week ago in the Swac. We have the ladies soccer seeding for the upcoming tournament this weekend. This show is being filmed on November the 2nd. It'll drop Friday, November the 4th. And the tournament is going to start on the 3rd, which is tomorrow, Wednesday. And we'll have news on the final standings on that next show. But for you people that are interested, and we want everyone, as I always say, if you're in the area of an HBCU game, activity going on, sports going on, event going on, go to the event and support your HBCU of choice. All the universities need all the help that they can get financially. And we would greatly appreciate it. We are going to have the seedings for the ladies soccer. Jackson State, which is seeded number 1, is going to play Alabama A&M. Alabama State is going to play Texas Southern, seeded 5th. Alabama State is seeded 4th. The 3rd seed, Grambling State, is going to play Alcorn, which is the 7th seed. And Southern University, which is the 3rd seed, is going to play UAPB. Now they're going to play Wednesday and Thursday, the first game, the quarterfinals, and then the semifinals. The championship game is going to be Sunday at the Prairie View Soccer Complex. So once again, if you're in the area, go by and check the young ladies out and show them some support. Moving on, let me give you some SWAC scores from last week. Let's start off with the biggest game that was in the SWAC. And I say the biggest game, not in a sense to demean the other teams, but only in the sense that, one more time, it was nationally televised, and it gave the world an opportunity to see an HBCU campus and how we can support our universities. So we got Jackson State crushed Southern University 35-0. And let me add a little footnote to that. A tape podcast was revealed of the Southern University players dissing Coach Prime and Jackson State. And all I have to say about that is, if you're going to do the talking, you got to walk the walk. And Jackson State put it on Southern. Prairie View came back from a large deficit against Bethune-Cookman and won their homecoming 58-48. So the Panthers now are leading the West. You got Grambling State wins their first game against Alcorn. Texas Southern beats Lincoln College out of California for their fourth win. We haven't won 4 games in a pretty good while here at Texas Southern. And so we're happy to see that. Alabama State beats Alabama A&M on a come-from-behind victory in the Magic City Classic. And that's why I was trying to say I'm not trying to demean the other universities' game, because the Magic City Classic is a big game in Alabama. They play in Birmingham Stadium, the Iron Bowl, where they play Alabama and Auburn University play. So it sits 50 to 60,000 people. And so that was a pretty good game. And I heard that it was attended rather well. So Alabama State comes from behind to beat Alabama A&M 24-17. FAMU beats UAPB 27-6. And so what we have now is the upcoming schedule for this week. Now, family and all you HBCU people out there, I want anyone in the, where are they playing Thursday? In the Itabeta, Mississippi. Let me go over that again. Itabena, Mississippi is where Mississippi Valley State University is. And if you're in the area, go out and patronize the game. They're going to be playing Alabama A&M. Now, Friday, Alcorn plays Prairie View at Prairie View. So once again, the people in the Houston area, all you Prairie Viewites, we need to see you guys at the game when Alcorn comes Friday to play Prairie View. Now, the games for Saturday are UAPB versus Grambling State. Alabama State will be at Bethune-Cookman. Southern University will be at FAMU. That's going to be a big game. But I don't see how Southern is going to get off the mat and be able to beat FAMU. FAMU is on a mission. They've lost to Jackson State for the second year in a row, and it looks like they're trying to get off into the Division II playoffs, and they have a great chance to do that. You got Jackson State will be at Texas Southern University. And all I have to tell you people here in the Houston area is, if you're going to the game and don't have a ticket, you might not make it. But you need to check ASAP as soon as possible. This is going to drop Friday, and you're going to have just a little time to get that ticket for Saturday. It should be a sellout by then. And I feel like if we play our best, now I know we got to play our best, but if Texas Southern plays their best, it should be a good contest against Jackson State University. I'd like to see the battle between Shador and Andrew Body. I'd like to see the battle between Texas Southern defense and Jackson State's offense, high-powered offense. And Texas Southern's offense against Jackson State's stingy defense. This is going to be a good test for Texas Southern University. Let these kids and coaching staff know where they are. And I feel like we can hang in there. I think depth might get us down the road, but I'm going to pull for us. And I think that it should be a very competitive game. Now, speaking about Jackson State, there was something went on here in Houston, Texas on Monday, 11/1, Monday, 10/31, August the 31st. A rap star was killed here in Houston over some situation that I'm not clear on right now, which is not the reason why I'm talking to you. The reason why I'm talking to you about is bringing that is that Coach Prime addressed, I saw a podcast, and this is why I love Coach Prime. I saw him address his team to let him know that these are people that you admire, the rappers, you got their music, you sing their songs. He said, but you have to start thinking for yourself. You can't put yourself in a bad situation where nothing positive can come out of it. This guy is part of the Migos, and don't let me start talking about rapping because I may not get any of it right. But I'm told he's part of a three-brother or relative group, the Migos, and he got killed He and one of his uncles came to Houston, and Coach Prime is not letting his players leave the hotel because of this situation. And I have no problem with him being cautious with his players, because kids can be led to do the wrong thing. But I want to clear this up. This is not just if you walk outside, you get shot in H-Town. No, it's not about that. This is about a gentleman putting himself in a bad situation, being somewhere he shouldn't have been. And this is what Coach Prime is talking about. He don't want his players to get somewhere they shouldn't be. So I just wanted to clear the air on that. This had nothing to do with if you walk outside the door here at my house, you're going to get shot. If you walk outside the door downtown, you're going to get shot. No. One more time, as Coach Prime was telling his players, don't put yourself in a bad position. And actually, this is good information for everyone, all you young kids. Don't put yourself in a bad situation. And by being somewhere you shouldn't be, where you know nothing positive is going to come out of it. So I just wanted to talk about that and move on now. What we're going to do is go to the MEAC. We're going to do the MEAC. First of all, let me give you some scores. Morgan State beat South Carolina State University. Now, that is a big upset. South Carolina State was supposed to be the force in the MEAC, but Morgan State beats them 41-14. Howard beats Norfolk State University 49-21. The ex-coach from Southern University, this is just his second year, I think, not doing too well up in Norfolk State. But, he's got to get his own players and get his program initiated into the players. And then you got North Carolina Central beat Delaware State 28-21. So the standings right now in the MEAC is Howard University is 2-0 in the conference. North Carolina Central is 2-1. South Carolina State is 1-1. Delaware State 1-2. Morgan State 1-2. And Norfolk State 1-2. The SIAC, Benedict College is 6-0. Albany State is 5-1. Fort Valley State is 4-2. Edward Waters is 3-3. Savannah State 3-4. Clark Atlanta 2-5. Allen 0-5 and Morehouse 0-6. A lot of you people probably never heard of some of these colleges and where they are. Most of them are in Alabama. Fort Valley State is in Georgia. Savannah State is in Georgia. You got the west of the SIAC, that was the east. Benedict. What happens, they just like the Swac. At the end of the year, the east plays the west. We got Kentucky State 4-2. Lane College is 4-2. Tuskegee is leading the conference at 6-0. And let me give you a little tidbit on Tuskegee. Tuskegee has a new coach, Ruffin. That came from, he came from Shaw University. And they were in the NAIA playoffs last year, went to the third round, first time ever been done. And he's now 6-0 at Tuskegee. You got Central State of Ohio 1-5, and you got Miles College 1-5. Got the MEAC, the CIAA information right quick, and then we're going to go off into some pro sports, and then we're going to get our guests on. Chowan is 4-0 in the North. Virginia Union is 3-1. Virginia State is 2-2. And Bowie State. Now, I said Shaw a moment ago in the CIAA, but let me correct myself. Bowie State went to the third round in NAIA playoffs. It's actually not NAIA anymore. It's Division II playoffs. And to the third round. And their coach, Ruffin, went to Tuskegee. Elizabeth City is 1-3. You got Fayetteville in the South is 4-0. Winston-Salem is 3-1. And Shaw is 1-3. Going into some pro sports right quick. Our Houston Astros They are, the day once again is Wednesday the 3rd. They are getting ready to play the 4th game. Houston is down 2-1. But family in Houston, H-Town, don't lose the faith. If the Astros can win just one game out of the next 2, they get a chance to come back home to finish the World Series. So that's what I'm putting my money on. I'm hoping that the Astros can win a game tonight or tomorrow night so that the series can come back to Houston. This series scared me in the beginning. It almost feels like the Washington Nationals series 3 years ago, where we had the best record, the best team, but the Washington Nationals were just in a survival mode the whole last month of Major League Baseball, where they had to win, to whereas now Philadelphia was in the same mode and they had to win, and you can see they've picked up that momentum and they're playing right at the right time. So, but I still am going with the Phillies. I'm not with the Phillies, I'm sorry, with the Houston Astros. Now, going to NFL right quick. AFC East, the Bills, 6-1. AFC South, Titans 5-2. AFC North, Ravens 5-3. And the AFC West, the Chiefs. As I told you before, I expect the Chiefs and the Bills to play for the representative out of the AFC. You got the NFC, you got the Eagles 7-0, and the Cowboys 6-2, and the Giants 6-2. That is a great division. I started off saying it was a sorry division at the beginning of the year, but it's winding up to be the best division in the NFC. All 3 of these teams might make it. You got the Vikings 6-1 in the NFC North. You got the Falcons, a surprise, 4-4 in the South, and the Buccaneers 3-5. In the West, you got Seattle 5-3, a surprise. And you got the 49ers 4-4, but I think the 49ers are getting ready to pick up steam now. But it's going to be between the 49ers and Seattle. And I got either the Cowboys and the Eagles playing the 49ers to come out of the NFC. And then I have the Buffalo Bills beating the Kansas City Chiefs finally to go to the Super Bowl. So without further ado, what we're going to do is get our guest in on Zoom and discuss what's been happening in his life and give us some information on his stay when he was at Texas Southern University. Hello, family. I'm back, and we have a wonderful guest for you. As I told you earlier, we have a young man that came to Texas Southern University, highly touted, and he was part of the turnaround of the program for football when I was there. Some of these teams that beat TSU now couldn't even think about beating us. Our biggest games was making sure we got past Grambling. That was the big one. But without further ado, this gentleman's name is David Mays. He was a quarterback for the Texas Southern University Tigers, and during our glory years, and we got him on. We're fortunate enough to get him on, and we're gonna go right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you David Mays. How you doing, David?
Pretty good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you so much, man, for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to your TSU family and your Swac family here in Houston, H-Town. And family, I want to give a shout out to Leonard Moon. Leonard Moon introduced me to David Mays' name. He said, Larry, a great interview for you would be David Mays. And I said, it would absolutely would be. I was there. He was there when I got to Texas Southern University. So I want to send this shout out to Leonard Moon, thanking him for turning me on to David. David, give us a little background about yourself, where you were born and where you matriculated from high school to go to Texas Southern University.
Well, I was born in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and the family moved when I was 6 months old to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My father was a professor at at Southern University. He was actually teaching at Arkansas A&M, where he played ball and went to school, and got an offer to teach at Southern, and the family moved to Southern. And that's kind of where I was raised. I was raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Went to school, high school on Southern University's campus. So I'd always been around the historically Black colleges, all my life.
Okay.
Came along during an era of total segregation. All of the schools were, you either had Black schools and you had white schools, not only on the elementary level and high school level, but also on the university level. LSU is in the same city as Southern University in Baton Rouge, and it was on the other side of town. And all of the schools that you see now in the SEC, all of them were segregated.
Right.
But everybody was really proud of the historically Black colleges. And when you got a phone call from somebody like Coach Eddie Robinson, or Coach John Merritt from Tennessee State, Jake Gaither from Florida A&M, and coaches from Alcorn and Prairie View and all of these places, you were ecstatic, and you thought you had made it.
Right.
And so I played high school ball at Southern University High School, and hung out on the Southern University's campus. Actually thought I was going to Southern because I had a good relationship with the head coach at the time there, Coach Alvin Tabor. But Coach Tabor decided to take a job in the New Orleans Saints. Became an assistant coach in New Orleans Saints my senior year. And so my senior year, I had a pretty good senior year. And but the new coach sort of, had his eyes on other players, and Texas Southern came to town and offered me an opportunity to play my first year, my freshman year, and I accepted the challenge and took off right after I graduated from high school and came over in the summer, took summer classes and learned the system. So I just tried to get as, far ahead as I possibly could.
Give yourself every opportunity to start. Give yourself every opportunity to start.
Yeah,
Name something for the listening audience. Excuse me for interrupting you. Name for the listening audience some of the other recruits that came in with the year you came in, so I can let them see how Texas Southern.
Well, when I came in, we had Julius Adams, who ended up had a great career at New England. Ernie Holmes was part of the Steel Curtain. He was my roommate my freshman year.
I know that was wild. I know that was wild.
I had to kick Ernie out after that. But
now, what about Nate Allen from Florida?
Nate Allen, he played. Nate ended up was defensive back with Minnesota.
Yeah. He's from Florida, though, wasn't he? Or was he from Georgia?
Julius Adams?
No, Nate was Nate from Georgia?
I'm not certain where Nate was from. I always thought, because the head coach, Coach Paul, he was from Florida. He had really a real Florida connection.
Oh man, a wonderful pipeline.
When I got there, you had Kenny Burroughs. He and I played with each other for 3 years.
Okay.
And Ernie Callaway, who became a sort of a legend in New England for Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so we had a tremendous amount of just a whole lot of talent.
Yeah.
Probably our biggest, there was a disadvantage to our team. We just didn't have that depth. I mean, when you went against guys like Grambling, they were 3 or 4 deep.
Yeah.
So we could hang in there with them for a while, but then they would just wear you down. Yeah.
Now Larry Crow, did Larry Crow come in there with you?
Larry Crow came in with me. Melvin Baker came.
Yes.
We had those guys came with me. Came in the same time I did. What was really interesting, I was glad I came that summer, because I remember Coach Paul coming and in the recruiting period, and said, want to have me, and thought I had an opportunity to play my freshman year. Well, when the season started, there was 8 other quarterbacks. Yes, said the same thing. But so it was, competition.
That's all. That's doing thing, but make you better.
Yeah, competition was, I mean, even in high school level, I mean, it's just competition, and the competition not only to play, but the competition against the people that you played against. I mean, like Mel Blount, he and we knew each other because he went to Southern.
Right. Did y'all go to high school together in Baton Rouge?
Well, no, we didn't, because Mel was from Georgia.
Oh, okay.
But he and I got to know each other, so we would sort of work out sometime during the off season. But we played against each other for 4 years.
Okay.
So you had Bivens at a big defensive back from Prairie View. Jackson State was stacked. I mean, all the schools were stacked. I mean, sure. What you see now at the SEC is what you saw at the SWAC.
Okay.
Because segregation really was the reason for that, because kids couldn't even go to any of those schools. I remember as a kid watching television, watching the governor of Alabama, George Wallace, stand on the steps of the University of Alabama and say segregation forever.
Right.
As one young man was just trying to register to go to school there, and John Kennedy had to bring in the National Guard to escort the kid into the school, and that was just one kid. So during the period of time that I came out and with the segregation situation, what you see now in the SEC, for example, is what you saw in the SWAC.
Right.
And in independent schools like Tennessee State, Florida A&M, the top black athlete was at the historically black college.
For sure. That's the only place we could go.
Right. But I think the misnomer is that people were proud to go to the historically black college. Nobody was going to church praying, saying, "Oh Lord, can I please go to the white school?
Right.
Please, can I go to school next to a white person at the white school? I will learn better." We were proud of the professors that we had. I had some of the top professors at Texas Southern.
Yes.
And they prepared me extremely well when I had to go out into the world, for example, to medical school. Because
let's go right into that now. Let's go right into that now. Right now, I hate for interrupting you again, but I want the audience to know a little bit of your background other than football. Family. Mr. Mays was not only a great football player, but he got something between these 2 ears also. He graduated from Texas Southern and went on to become a what?
Well, I didn't get drafted when I came out of Texas Southern, and I was fortunate enough to get accepted in the med school at University of Southern California.
Okay.
And I pursued a career in dentistry.
Okay.
And I was actually out of ball for 4 or 5 years before I got an opportunity to play.
Okay.
So, so I had finished. Actually, I had my doctorate degree when I went to the Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
And so, when I made the team, I was fortunate enough to make the team, and that's when they found out I had a doctorate degree.
Right. Doctor.
Yeah, but I had been out of ball since, I finished, I came to Texas Southern in 67, and I finished in 70, 71. So I didn't get a chance I didn't go to Cleveland until 76.
Wow.
So I had been out of ball all of that period of time, except for 1 year, my junior year in medical school, where the World Football League came into existence. And some folks that had known me, said, "Would you like to take a shot at playing?" And I said yes. And I had to go before a committee at the school to get a leave of absence, actually, to go play. And to make a long story short, I got the leave, and I was fortunate enough to make the team and did pretty well there. But the league only lasted a year and a half.
What team was that, if I can ask for WF? Was it in California?
I ended up with the Houston Texans.
What?
And
That's Jim
yeah.
Kelly, wasn't it? No, Jim Kelly was the gambler. He was the gambler.
No, that's USFL. This was before the USFL.
Okay.
Actually, Ernie Callaway played for the Orlando team in the world. So you had Paul Warfield, Zonka Kick, Danny White, quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Right. They signed with the Memphis Southmen. I got an opportunity to play with Calvin Hill my second year, actually a short period of time, because after my first year, I got traded to Hawaii, and Calvin Hill signed with Hawaii, but I got a letter from the school saying you're close to finishing, so you got to make a choice whether or not you want to come back to school or not. So I talked to the coaches, and I went back and finished school, and then shortly thereafter the league folded, the world. But from what I had done my first year, I got an offer to come to Cleveland. That's how I ended up in Cleveland.
Okay.
In 76.
Now, is it correct also you played for another NFL team?
Yeah, I was with Cleveland for 2.5 years. And then I got picked up by Buffalo and was with Buffalo for 2.5 years.
Fantastic.
And that's when I retired. I finished after my period of time in Buffalo.
I've been wanting to know this because me and some other guys have butted heads on this. I thought it was 4 years and you qualify for your pension NFL, or is it 5? Which one is it?
Well, they've reduced it now to 3.
What? If you can do 3 now, when you were playing, how many years did you have to have in?
Oh man, I mean, the pension situation has been such a confusing situation, depending on what era you came in. In fact, even now, it's divided up into the beginning of the league to 1960 something, and then there's another period between 70 and 80. So it varies. It varies according to what period of time you came into the league, and how many years you put in. I know there's no part of it that says you only play 1 year.
Right.
So and then there are some benefits that you can get after playing maybe a couple of years. Okay. Medical, dental, some healthcare related stuff.
Okay.
And then everybody's kind of looking at that concussion issue.
Right.
No matter how many years you play.
Right, for sure.
But it's that whole thing has varied according to whoever's negotiating the contracts, because they negotiate the contracts every 10 years.
All right. Now, who were you throwing the ball to at Texas Southern University when you were there?
Oh, Kenny Burroughs.
Now, it was a guy. I'm trying to think of this guy that was from Dallas. Kenny was 00, and the other guy was 0.
Yeah.
Isaac something.
He was from Florida.
Isaac Jefferson,
right.
Oh, he was from Florida?
Yeah, that's another one of Coach Paul's.
Oh, okay. He was tough too.
Yeah, we had. I tell you, I think we can match up with anybody in the country.
Yeah.
With the starting offense and defense.
For sure.
We had a tremendous.
I think Bert Askham was your tight end, wasn't it? Bert Askham was your tight end.
KJ from Beaumont, Texas. HK. I think it's HK Foster.
HK.
Yeah.
And all these folks, all these people, family made it to the NFL. All these guys we talking about made it to the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm just letting the listening audience know that there was some glory years at Texas Southern University where we had players.
Yeah, we tied for conference championship my sophomore year. Mm-hmm. And the competition, was always Grambling. And Alcorn came on pretty tough one year. But I think we beat everybody. We beat everybody.
Right.
Texas Southern, we beat everybody in the conference, with the exception, I have to acknowledge, Grambling. We were never able. My 4 years there, we were never able. Now we were close.
Yeah.
Because we played in the Astrodome one time and we were up like 20-something to 6.
I tell everybody that.
And they came back and looked like they never stopped coming out of the they must look like they added some more players at halftime.
Right. Man,
and
they just wore us down. Find a way to lose to Grambling. I mean, we could be leading
Yeah,
next
we
thing you
went
know,
up
we
to
done fumbled,
Grambling
the guy
and
pick it
had
up,
them.
ran it in.
Yeah, we went up to Grambling and had them down, and then we lost to them. But there was always a tough game. Nobody ever blew us out.
I got
I
you.
mean, we were very competitive, and it was just some fun times.
Now, before I let you go, I want the people to know, what did you do after you finished playing football?
Well, I actually practiced medicine for 20 some years.
Okay.
Watched over my dad. He died when I was 15.
Okay.
I had two brothers that were 7 and 4.
Okay.
So I kind of, was the oldest in the family, and a wonderful mother. She just took the baton and said, "Look, this is what you guys are going to do." And so I kind of watched them. I'm proud to say I got my two brothers are now medical doctors. They've been practicing for 20 some odd years.
Now you were a
One's a
dentist,
primary
though.
care
They
doctor.
medical doctors, and you were a dentist.
Yeah, I told them to go into medicine. Yeah, yeah. One's a urologist, and the other one's a primary care doctor. They've been practicing. They're in Baton Rouge now. I try to go down and see them as often as I can, and I take over all of the nieces and nephews. I'll make sure everybody's. Yeah.
Did you have any of your kids come to TSU?
No, well, one of my daughters has been on the campus. None of them gone to school there.
Right. Okay,
But,
that's what I was trying to see.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But we talk about historical Black colleges all the time. I mean, that's a whole nother story. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We've been. It's kids really don't know what they're missing. I look at TV now, and I watch Alabama, for example. They've made Nick Saban, who's a great coach. He went to Kent State up here in Ohio, and he coached at Michigan State, was at LSU. He's been around, was in the pros for quite some time. I'm not taking anything away from his coaching ability, but I'm just talking about talent and athletes.
Well, sure.
All of those athletes that you see running up and down the field of Alabama, not only in the football field, but in the court, on the basketball courts, and all of that stuff. None of those kids could have gone on the campus during the period of time that I came out. Yeah. They would either been at Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Tuskegee, Alcorn, Mississippi Valley, Southern Texas. So they would have been in the Swac or somewhere.
Right.
And so when you think in terms of competition, and you say, well, integration was a wonderful thing, which it was. It was something legally that had to be done. You really hate to see that the asset that we developed from the basements of churches and buildings to create some of the greatest institutions on the face of the earth, historical Black colleges, that we just kind of walked away from them. And now we're so excited to go to University of Texas, schools that didn't even want you to go there in the first place.
You preaching to the choir, David.
And we had already proven, see, guys like us and Kenny and Ernie, the people you talk about, Mel, the guys at Jackson State, Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, Mississippi Valley,
Ron Holmes,
Air McNair from Alcorn. We already proved that you don't need to go to the white school to get to the pros.
Right.
The football field is the same length, the same width, 10 yards in the end zone. Goalpost is the same place. So from a competition standpoint, not talking racism, not talking anything. I'm just talking about from a competition, because every culture loves their coach.
Right.
White folks like to be white.
Right.
Indians, Asians like to be what they are. Everybody migrates to their culture.
Right.
Historically Black colleges is a tremendous asset that we created. It would be nice to see if we appreciated it and came back home and made those institutions great. I'd love to live to see the day when I see Southern University versus Grambling for the national championship.
Right.
Versus
TSU.
LSU.
TSU
versus LSU versus University of Texas. Or Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Because, and then so that's kind of how I look at it.
Okay. Now,
and,
give us a little background on your family. Are you married? Do you have any kids or what? And where are you currently living at? Where are you currently living at?
Presently living in Cleveland, Ohio. Been married, have 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. My son, because I was up here, he fell in love with ice hockey. So I became a hockey dad.
Wow.
And now you got hockey all over the place. But I mean, to me, that's the toughest sport in the world.
But
you have to see it to believe it.
Okay.
And he's a pretty big boy. Everybody wanted him to play football because he was 6'4", 240. So, I mean, but on ice he's 6'7". So, I have my oldest daughter's a nurse in Louisiana, and my middle daughter is in the fashion industry. She's all over the place. New York, Los Angeles, here, there, everywhere. So, but they're wonderful kids. I talk to them just like I did when they were little kids, 5, 6, 7 times a week. A week. We talk every day. And if they don't answer the phone after the 3rd ring, they know I'm going to keep calling. So I'm a pretty hands-on type of father. I've always been, just like I was with my brothers.
Okay.
And but yeah.
All right, I want you to promise me, man, that you're going to try to make an effort to get here. I know you missed the football homecoming, but I want you to come down and during the basketball season and let us treat you and show you around everything that's happening.
I really look forward to it. I was planning on coming to the game, but I was actually in the hospital.
Okay.
I've been in the hospital for a couple of weeks, and it was suggested I don't try to do too much travel.
Right.
But I look forward to getting down there. I can't wait to get on the campus and see what it looks like and sort of reminisce and hang out with some of the guys and talk some
I'd like
stuff.
for you before we get away and just let
come
people
over
know
and chat.
what you think about Texas Southern University and give us one of those David Mays goodbyes.
I appreciate it. I look forward to it. I really do.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we want to thank you for giving us some of your time. I just wanted my family, my YouTube family, to see that some of the great people that the university has produced, and you are definitely one of those, David. And that is, let them know that athletes aren't just robots that go out and play. They're humans, and they also have ideas and goals other than football. And you are a perfect example of it. Okay.
Well, I appreciate it. It's an honor to be able to speak to you. And I, like you, I want to thank Lenny Moon for putting us together as well. And I look forward to coming down there and hanging out with everybody on the campus. And like I say, it's just I had a wonderful time on the campus. It means a lot to me to say that I'm a graduate of Texas Southern University. And I talk about it all the time, as well as the historically Black colleges. So I look forward to seeing you.
Take care of yourself. And one more time, we wish you nothing but peace and love, my brother. And
thank you.
Make sure you contact me when you come to campus.
And I have to say, thank you for helping me out to figure out how to work this Zoom. All right.
Hey, I need you to spread the word for my show in Ohio.
I will. I'll definitely do so.
All right, then.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Womack is the broker and president and CEO of Womack Development Investment Realtors, a private minority-owned full-service commercial and residential real estate brokerage firm. Over the years, he has been known to be a respected community businessman and partner and has received many awards. Now, he sells real estate everywhere, but his specialty is right here in 3rd Ward. This guy can get it taken care of for you. Okay, YouTube family. Well, this is the end of the show, and I just wanted to let everyone know that I greatly appreciate one more time you listening in. We want you to make sure that you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and you share it with some friends. If you'd like to advertise on the program, contact me at fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. One more time, if you'd like to become a sponsor on the program, contact me at fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. We can work something out where you can be